Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is a new series I'm calling The Comfy Corner in my actual room instead of my mom's. Okay, today we are going to be ranking the most iconic Mean Girls. Am I too far away? I feel too far away. I'm just gonna scoot you a little closer to me, okay? Okay. Ooh. Okay. So, like I said, we are going to be ranking the most iconic Mean Girls in television history. I just DIY'd this, so stay with me. I might also have to do close-ups because, like I said, you're very far away. So, Cher, it's backwards. It didn't even matter. Okay, whatever. Cher. To some, she might not count as a mean girl. However, I think that's how we're supposed to view her in the movie. And also, I kind of got this list from Pinterest, and she was on there. So, don't hate me, hate Pinterest, or whoever made the post. Blair Wardoff. I know for a fact she counts as a mean girl. Cher is from Clueless. Blair Wardoff is from Gossip Girl. Next, a personal favorite, Heather Chandler from the iconic 80s movies, 80s movie Heathers. Sorry. Another iconic movie, but from the 2000s, Regina George. This is another personal favorite for me. I binge watched this show and I even rewatch it. I've been rewatching it right now and I rewatched some of my favorite episodes. Cheryl Blossom. Again, some say she doesn't count as a mean girl. To those people, I say, have you seen her character? And listen, I get it. She's been through a lot in the show and I personally like her character actually. However, she is a mean girl. In the first few episodes, she fat shames Betty. Later on, she just bullies the characters. And that's she gets some character development, but still, she is considered a mean girl. Another really great one. Chanel No. 1 from the 2010 show? Yeah, 2010s. 2010 show, Scream Queens. I love that show. I'm so upset that they canceled it, but it's still great nonetheless. Also, Cheryl is from Riverdale. Here's my ranking board. I just realized I didn't put... You get the gist of it. The top is the best, okay? I forgot my numbers. Anyway, we get it. So, we'll start off with Heather Chandler, because I love this movie. Here's the thing. If you've ever watched Heathers or even seen the musical, they really do just make her kind of the worst. She's not too bad, and I think some sympathize with her because you can tell she's kind of she's a mean girl because she wants, okay, this is more of a personal opinion, but she's a mean girl because I feel she wants some validation and she thinks that makes her more confident, which obviously it doesn't, and and I feel some sympathize with her because you can tell, if you just watch the personal scenes, where she spits at the mirror, because that's clearly got to be something a little more, I don't want to say self-hatred, because I don't want to offend anybody, but I actually don't think she's the worst mean girl, because, by the way, I should clarify, I'm not going off of who I think is more iconic. I think I'm going off of actual meanness and who I think is worse. And I don't think she's the worst one, actually. And that's not just because I really like Heathers. I just don't think she's the worst one. So we're going off of meanness. And personally, I feel like she's a 3 on the meanness scale. Sorry, I'm really like shaky right now. I think it's because I had coffee. I hope that wears off because it's 4 something, almost 5 p.m. So, yeah. Also, I just want you to know, there's a lot. I try to get as much light in here because I wanted to seem cozy with my fairy like rain lights, but I had to make sure there was enough light so you could actually see me. And I'm sure there's like still a dark cast on me. But my Hello Kitty mirror's on and I literally put the blinds up all the way on my window. So there's more light coming from here than there. Anyway, I feel she is a 3. I might change that though, which I'll probably, we're gonna go through it and I might change some of them. But in my opinion, she's a 3 on the meanness scale because I feel like I wasted a lot of tape by doing that. Okay, well, like I said, I might change these throughout, but she honestly, obviously she's a mean girl and she doesn't have exactly the most great views on other people, but then again, if you watch any 80s movie, the mean girls always like are pretty much the same. So next we'll do Regina George because she is like the most memorable classic mean girl in this might be a stretch, but cinematic history, other than Heather Chandler. But I feel like more people remember Regina more because Regina, okay, Mean Girls came out in the 2000s, and the 2000s was a very iconic era, and people like the pinkness and the aesthetic of the movie, which is probably why she was more memorable. But also, I think she's pretty mean in the movie. However, she does get some character development. Heather Chandler didn't really get a chance for that, considering the fact she dies, or technically gets murdered. But, you know, however, Regina's she's pretty mean. But also, I'm trying to keep in mind, she has character development. And has anyone ever seen that deleted scene of Regina and Caddy making up in the movie? And they didn't put it in, which I personally believe that they should have kept it in, because that just shows more character development than just showing, oh, she's going to therapy and she's getting her anger out in sports, which is great. I think that was good too. However, I really wish they kept the deleted scene in. If you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. You can probably find it on TikTok or YouTube. Like I said, very hyper. I need to stop drinking so much caffeine. That's the problem. For meanness scale, right now, I'm deciding if I should put her on 2 or 4, because I know some of them are really mean. Me personally, I don't think Cher's that mean. Like, she's kind of mean, because you shouldn't, when she's trying to change, Brittany Murphy, Ty, when she's trying to change Ty in the movie, you shouldn't change someone to get them to to get other people to like you. And I also don't think, I don't know. Obviously her views are kind of off. So for right now, I think right now we're actually gonna put Regina at a 4, believe it or not. Which again, I might change some of them later. But right now she's actually a 4 because for some of the Mean Girls, they're like once we get to Chanel, if anyone's ever watched Scream Queens, you know that Chanel is rough. So right now, Regina, you get to be at a 4. Only for right now, because everything get over. Let's do Cheryl Blossom. Like, it's not even any use because you can't see it. I'm too far away. These probably could have been bigger. Also, my camera reversed it, so you're reading it backwards. like I said earlier, I get Cheryl goes through a lot in the show, and they show a lot of abuse with her mom, which is probably why she is the way she is. However, I do think I love her character, but I don't agree when people say that, oh, she wasn't a mean girl, she's just really hurt. Just because you're really hurt doesn't mean that you're not a mean girl. You're still a mean girl, even if you faced abuse. Like, if you're being mean, then you're still a mean girl. That's how that works. Do I sympathize with her? Of course. I don't think that she should have never been abused. Obviously, her mom's kind of homophobic, but I also think that her mom is more homophobic to Cheryl than anyone else. I don't think she even cares about that, to be honest. That's my opinion. If I actually might go on a Riverdale deep dive on my opinions on the show and other things later. So if you want that, just tell me. Anyway, but I don't think, was Cheryl really mean? No, but she's also pretty mean. Like, she's, like I said, she fat shames Betty in like the first or second episode. And they say that she's actually done that in the past, if you know. But she also keeps bullying people, like, throughout the seasons. So, but she's better. I don't know, you have to watch the show to kind of understand. And she's still, like, she's friends with the core four and other people with the cast, but if it benefits her, or if they even anger her a little bit, she will be mean to them. Like I said, you should watch all the shows that these characters are from, or movies, because they're so good. But for Cheryl, I think I'm gonna put her, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna put her at 5. There's 6 for like ranking, because that's how many characters there are. So I'm gonna put her at a 5, because she's not as bad as Heather Chandler. She's not as bad as Regina, but she's still pretty flippin' mean. Just saying. And it's fine if you don't agree with that. However, just because you're being bullied by your family and or abused, if you're being mean to people at school or even around you, you're still a mean girl. Except the only difference is you're a mean girl who needs therapy. Actually, technically all mean girls need therapy. Regina, she's a prime example. Anyway, she's a 5 on our rudeness scale. Next, we're doing Blair Wardoff. I have some strong opinions on her. I love her character in the first few seasons. So I shouldn't say character. I love her as a character. I think she's very entertaining, and I haven't finished Gossip Girl yet, but I still think she's a pretty iconic character. However, she's definitely a pretty big mean girl. But also, the thing, like a pattern with most of the mean girls we're talking about, you want to sympathize with them because they give them a sad either backstory or they have a troubled home life. Like Blair's mom, kind of a B word. Same with Cheryl's mom. She's a big B word, which is why you want to sympathize with them. But again, I'm going to say this with Cheryl, and I'm going to say it with all of them. Just because something's going on at home, which is still awful, and I completely understand, but if you're being mean to somebody and you're like explicitly bullying someone, you're still a mean girl. That nothing changes that. But for Blair, don't hate me. I'm gonna put her at a 2. Actually, wait. Should Heather be 2, and then should Blair be? I'm gonna decide if I should put Heather at 2 and then Blair at 3. You know, if we're going back to Heather, actually, I think there's a big difference between Heather from the movie and Heather from the musical. I feel like how they play Heather in the musical, they make you hate her more in the musical because they don't show where she's actually sad, and you're saying, well, or some of you might be saying, oh well, there's the song, the Me Inside of Me, that shows how, like, no, that's just Veronica writing her suicide note. However, in the movie, they make you sympathize with her just a tad bit more. But I might put Heather at 2, now that I think about it. Don't hate me. And Blair, you can, where's, did I not put tape? Hey, we're putting Blair at 3. Don't hate me. By the way, this is just opinion. Okay? So, if anyone watches this and they're like, they shouldn't have gotten that spot, this is just opinion. Okay? You're allowed to believe whatever you want to believe. We have 2 more people left. We're leaving Chanel number 1 last. Like I said, I don't think Cher's the biggest mean girl. Actually, out of all of them, to be honest, in the movie, I didn't think Cher was even that bad. However, I do see why she's considered a mean girl, or a classic mean girl, which is why she's gonna be number 6 in the meanest scale. Because I don't think she's that bad. Which I think a lot of people would agree with me on. But what's crazy to me is when I saw that Pinterest photo of, oh, who's more mean, I think I was surprised no one said that Cher wasn't a mean girl. And then instead I hear, oh, but Cher's not a mean girl. That actually kind of angered me, because that means you clearly have not watched the show. Like, come on. You clearly... Anyway, our last one. I have a lot to say about Chanel. I know they said, I know I said that they do everything they can to make you hate Heather. But I think Chanel, they do everything to make you hate her. They really do. Like, they make her, she's kind of racist. She is. You know what, she just is racist, let's just say that. She's rude to pretty much everybody. She makes the most offensive jokes, and don't get me wrong, I love the show. And they make him say funny things, but she's still like the biggest mean girl. Okay? She is. So, for that reason, she's the one at the top. Because they do everything to make you hate her. And I think in the first season, she's not considered the main character. The main character is Grace and Zayday, pretty much, or mostly Grace. But in the second season, they make it the Chanel's the main character. All of the Chanel's are pretty much the main characters, because people like them more, what I believe. And also, for some reason, Grace didn't come back in the second season. I don't know why. But she's the most offensive one. She makes the rudest jokes about people. Like I said, she's racist. I tried to say she's kind of racist. No, she is. Anyway. Yeah, that's number 1 on the meanest scale. Or the mean girl scale. Okay, let's review. Number 1 on Mean Girl scale, Chanel number 1. Number 2 on Mean Girl scale, Heather Chandler. Wait, should I switch Blair and Regina? No, I'm kidding with that. Number 3 on Mean Girl scale, Blair Wardoff. Number 4 on Mean Girl scale, Regina George. Oh, my social. No. Number 5 on Mean Girl scale, Show Blossom. And last but not least, Cher on number 6 of the Mean Girl scale. I don't know if I should switch Blair and Regina. I think I'm just gonna keep it like that. Like I said, you guys are allowed to have your own opinions, and you know what? You might completely disagree with me. Even I'm having second thoughts. But it's kind of it. I'm really hungry. Last thing I had was banana, and I'm very caffeinated, kind of shaky, and I might get an anxiety attack pretty soon. I don't know. Yeah, but this was fun. I liked this. I'm gonna continue with the Comfy Corner series, and I probably won't rank things every time. I might talk about books or iconic television shows or even movies like Heathers or Scream Queens or Riverdale, because Riverdale truly is one of my favorite shows. Favorite actor, Lily Reinhart. I know a lot of people hate Betty. Actually, I might make a video about her. I feel like a lot of people hate Betty because she did cheat. That's bad. But you know, no one else ever. I always see, oh, I hate Betty because she ruined the core 4 friend group, and she ruined Buckhead and Varchie. You want to know who I never see taken accountable? Archie. No, I never see it. I watch so many Riverdale edits. Whenever I see like hate comments or hate videos or like just hateful edits of people hating Betty because she ruined the core 4 group, I never see any of Archie. Why is that? I think that's just another case of people demonizing her. Because you know what? You want to be mad at Betty the entire time? That's fine. She cheated. That's really bad and hurtful and awful. But you have to be mad at Archie too, because they did it literally like that was. You want to hate her so bad, you have to hate Archie too. That's how this works, babe. So yeah, I could do a whole rant about her whole entire character. But that was it for my Comfy Corner, and I actually just may do a video on her now that I think about it. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and oh, so my outfit looks great. I'm wearing capris. This probably aren't in fashion, but I like them. Bye! Okay guys, just wanted to do a quick little outro thing. I realized while I was editing the thumbnail that I've been saying Blair's name wrong her last name wrong the entire time. I just kept saying Wardorf. It's Waldorf. Yeah, I'm not proud of that. I'm sorry. Also, outfit. So yeah, I'm sorry. I just know that's gonna irk a lot of people. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video.